the past few weeks, I've been building my first ever custom theme park in Planet Coaster 2. And so far, all we've built is Greece. That is literally all I've done. It's got a couple roller coasters in it, a few rides, and it is a nice area, but I'm bored of the Greek mythology theme. So that's why I think it's best to move on to a brand new themed area with potentially the biggest roller coaster in the park. I say potentially, the biggest roller coaster in the park so far, with another ride in the area and a brand new area for expansion that I'm going to talk all about, and that will be coming in the very near future. So strap yourselves in, and if you're not already, subscribe if you want to see the rest of this series, because it's going to be a big part. And we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers now, so yeah, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, or whatever. Hello and welcome back to the Planet Coaster 2 Custom Park series. We're here again, and every single time I say that intro of the custom park, I always think, oh, I do actually need to get a name for this park, and then I never do. So I probably should do that at some point. But talking of this series, it's been a while since the last episode. A week and a half ago, I was pretty much doing this every week. I think maybe even less than that. I think I was doing it every 6 days, 5 days. Yeah, it's been a bit longer this time. The reason for that, Blackpool closing, that existed, but I was actually going to do a video before I went to that, but then I got really ill, and obviously the illness was not contagious, so I wouldn't have gone if I knew it was contagious, and I just didn't feel very good, and it was not the greatest weekend in all honesty. So I mean, obviously the park was still fun to get to, the rides were still fun to go on, but me personally, I just wasn't feeling great all the time. So that's why there's been no videos in quite a while, and also this video might seem a lot more chill than normal because I'm still sort of recovering from it, but I've said that already. I don't even know whether I need to say it anymore. I just want to tell you, videos are coming back. They are on their way, I promise you. I've literally been so annoyed at myself for not making these videos. Not even just these ones, but I mean in general. Like, I think my last video was this past week in theme parks, and there's been so much happening since. The one time I don't upload, there's actually stuff happening. Like, obviously, Towers have announced that the Blade's not coming back, and obviously that was a rumour, but now it's confirmed, and there's loads of other things as well. Yeah, I need to catch up. Usually I'm quite quick to these things, but now I'm going to be like, guys, did you know? Apparently Nemesis is closing next year. But either way, as you can see, I'm actually building the entrance gateway to our brand new area. And let's actually talk about Planet Coaster 2 for once. This video is actually going to be a bit longer, so I actually don't feel as bad talking about videos and stuff right at the start, because we're going to be going for quite some time on this. But as you can see, and you've probably already worked it out from the title, thumbnail, and even just the intro in general, and what I'm building, we're going for a Viking-themed land. Yes, I can't wait to build this area. Obviously, the Greek area was fun to build. The pieces weren't... They're good pieces, but there's a lot of restrictions to it, so you can't build, like, everything and anything. Whereas this Viking-themed area so far, what I've done with all the buildings and the fact you can build like windmills and stuff so easily, it is a great themed pack. It's probably my favourite one in the game, and I've not even used like it properly yet, so I'm a really big fan of it. But I'm excited to continue into this area. So let me give you a bit of a rundown of what's going on right here. My first idea was to actually have it go off into two different... What have I done with the pathways? Jesus, that was bad. My idea was to have it go off into two different areas. One was a massive sort of plaza area with this central bit in the middle that maybe a coaster could go in the middle of. So you could obviously sort of see that coaster portion around that entire area. And the other idea was to have it go off to the right like you've just seen. So I wanted to make it a huge area, one bit off to the left, one bit off to the right. And then I started thinking, I think that area off to the left would be a bit too big. So let's start with the right side. So what did I do? I put a flat ride in, like Rush at Thorpe Park. Last time we built the magic carpet, like Quantum at Thorpe Park. Now we have Rush. What next? Am I going to build Samurai? Am I going to build Detonator? Who knows? But this is the first ride in our Viking themed area, and I thought it's literally called Hammer Swing. It's pretty obvious that you could base this off a Viking theme, and that's what we're going for here. We're going for rides that could have a very prominent Viking theme, even if they're huge or they're sort of tall, like just in big structure. You can make a Viking theme of these rides, and that's what I really wanted to do. And I've done that with the hammer swing right there. The queue line's in already. God, we're working fast. And to this, we could add more scenery, maybe make like actual hammers or, I don't know, like a sword or something. You never know what we could do with that. So once again, if you have any story suggestions for that ride or names that could sort of go with a theme of hammers, then please suggest them in the comments below. And I'll definitely be asking the same of the coaster I'm starting to build here. An RMC model at first, as you can see, twisting it around a little pre-drop, pre-lift a bit there, not a pre-drop, geez, you can tell I've lost it. And then, as you can see, we're working up the lift hill as well a little bit. The thing is about an RMC model is a lot of the supports in the game currently are very bugged, and for some reason, halfway through building it, the physics just decided to stop working. So I actually scrapped the RMC, and then it was time to take a bit of inspiration from a park closer to home, because I haven't already taken inspiration from this place, Thorpe Park. Let's think about Hyperia and make a Mack hypercoaster. So started this off and thought, oh, you know, let's sort of bring it up a lift hill, and it was going to be really tall, 250 foot tall right there, a nice curved drop as well. And then I sort of built the rest of it and thought, this is way too tall and way too big to have any sort of Viking theme. So I scrapped that as well. And as they do say, third time lucky, because this time I had built the coaster I want to keep. And this is a B&M inverted roller coaster. And originally I was going to make it sort of like Nemesis, where it's quite dug down into the ground and it's very low to the ground. And it's sort of below the tree line, I guess, as Towers has to do. But we don't have that restriction in this park, and I thought it'd just be sort of unnecessary for me to do that, considering a Viking city / sort of Viking mountainous theme that I want to go for is a bit stupid if you're putting it underground. So I've gone for quite a decently tall B&M invert, and as you can see, I dug a little hole under a pathway around there. That is where a loop is going to go eventually. You can see me trying to link up a loop to there right now, but I realised it's way too early for it to go round that bit. Or you could do a helix if you wanted to, straight underneath it. That would be pointless. But yeah, I really wanted to make an intense B&M inverted coaster, because I know these are staple attractions at some parks, and I wanted one in this park since the very beginning. I know it's not a new coaster type, and with Planet Coaster 2 I do want to build a lot of the new coasters in the game, but this is my first custom park, and I've not been able to make a custom B&M invert before, so this is my first chance to actually give it a go. So I know there's a lot of people out there that have built absolutely insane B&M inverts before in this game and in other games. This is probably way below the bar and is awful, but I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. And with the way it sort of keeps in that one little section behind that rocky line that you can see I've made, I'm really happy with it so far. And I'm quite excited to theme it all up. And let's actually talk about the theme. I did say a mountainous Viking theme. What does that mean? Well, you can see in the background behind the hammer swing that I did put a nice terrained up mountain right there. I'm actually doing some altering of the 0G roll because it was really annoying, because when I smoothed it out it would just unsmooth and make it an overbank. Yeah, that was annoying. I got sidetracked, sorry. The mountainous theme that I'm going for, I guess you could say it's a bit like How to Train Your Dragon if you want to take inspo from there. Just very sort of, I don't know, massive like castle Viking buildings rather than these tiny little hut type things. And there'll be only a few of them, more so than loads. There'll probably be a village area in this area itself, but with how I want to do the actual invert and that hammer swing ride at the back and a few other flat rides maybe in the area, and maybe even another coaster or dark ride, I think the mountainous theme works quite well. So again, any story ideas, or I don't know, maybe there's like a myth or a legend that goes with that. I know a lot of you guys want to see this whole park themed to like an entire mythology thing, which could still go ahead with how we're doing this Viking bit. then yeah, leave your suggestions down below. There are a few names that are still standing from the Greek area. I won't be going through them in this video purely because I want to focus this purely on this Viking bit, because I've literally been focusing on this only because I haven't had much time because I've been ill. But when I get the time to finish that Greek area fully, I've even added another ride to it. So I will show you that, and we'll do a full tour of it as well. Maybe even that might be the next episode. I don't know. But as you can see, a brake run has gone in. Is it the end of the ride? No, because I got rid of it. But I was going to add a mid-course. I thought about it because, well, operationally, we wanted to make this as efficient as possible, this park. So why would I not try and put a mid-course on to increase the amount of trains we can have? But I just think as a B&M invert stands, it is a pretty good people eater anyway. So I don't really need one. So I just sort of put that towards the end. I think I did one last corkscrew you just saw go in. And from that point, I think it goes up into that final brake run. Yes, there you go. And that should turn around just straight into the station. Well, it turns around into another brake run that goes into the station. And for this coaster, I didn't actually film me choosing the colours for it, but I actually chose a really nice brown and black grey colour scheme. Sounds a bit weird, but I thought when I actually looked at it from like a distant view in a Viking area with the sort of mountain to the sort of right of it, I'm actually really excited to see what it looks like when I actually themed it all, because it kind of fits in quite well. You can see me turning around there and doing the actual brake run rather than some stupid ending. And yeah, let's go into real time, I think. Hello there, everyone, and welcome. As you can see, our janitors are loving their life right there. You go have a lovely day. And we are here at the entrance of the area, of course. Once again, there will be a sign above that with a name. So again, if you have any suggestions, please leave them below. And as we walk under this gateway, as you can see, we have this huge ride off to the right. Of course, the hammer swing model right on the hill. I really like the fact that that's on that hill. It gives it a lot more sort of, I don't know, height, obviously. And then over there is a plain bit of land, but I'll save that for the end of this video, because over here is the B&M invert that I have been talking about. I know I probably need to move these rocks down because you can barely see anything over them, but is it ride area? Maybe. I mean, over here, that definitely is ride area fencing, so I'm glad I put this in, but you can get proper close up to that Immelman. And I'm really happy with how that looks. This is probably one of my favourite parts of the ride. I want to see if it can actually get here in good time. Do you want to come this way, please? Here we go. So look, it goes over that small airtime hill really fast and then comes up like that. Really happy with that. Obviously not fully smoothed out yet, it should probably stay straight, but it doesn't. But technically you could say this is just the first draft of this coaster. Over the pathway as well, I want to do some sort of like Black Mamba style theming with the loop, because obviously that goes over a bridge in Phantasialand and that has some really cool like netting and stuff. I'd love to do that, but Viking themed. And then obviously the ride just dives in and out of the terrain even slightly, so I really want to make some like viewing areas and like maybe over here sort of extend the pathway out so you can see like directly down that bit there. Again, some of the profiling needs work. But I'll tell you what, the 0G row I'm pretty happy with. I can never get the shaping on these things right, and I don't think I did too bad a job. I'll take it. But the one question on all of your minds is, what is this massive chunk of land and why have I left it out? Why didn't I just sort of go through this Viking area and sort of go straight in here and, you know, build it all over this area? Well, there has been an absolute ton of people asking to see a Viking themed area, and I mean like a ton. Hundreds. And I think it would be wrong to just make a Viking area as the theme park. So with Planet Coaster 2, of course, having water slides and very much being a water park game as well, over here using some external transport or something else, you are going to be able to reach from outside the park a brand new water park, all Viking themed in this corner right here. It's going to be a part indoor, part outdoor water park, and I'm genuinely so excited to actually get started with some water park features, finally. And yeah, I am genuinely so excited to get started with that water park and just get started with most of the Viking theming in general. As I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and again, apologies for the lack of videos recently. There will be so much more to come in the next couple days, so yeah, subscribe for that too. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and good night.